Okay, we're going to go through question 2 now. I'm just going to change the ink colour. Probably should have done this before I press record. Okay, so solve the following equations. So we've got, first of all, 2x minus 5 equals 11. So what I'm going to do first is, add 5 to both sides. Okay, so that disappears. So then we've got 2x equals 11 plus 5, which is 16. Then divide both sides by 2 to get x by itself, and I was about to write the answer there. So x is equal to 16 divided by 2, which is 8. Question B. All right, the first thing we need to do is get rid of this 4 because it's divided by 4. We need to multiply both sides by 4. Okay, so that cancels out, and we're left with p plus 3 equals 3 times 4, which is 12. Now subtract 3 from both sides, so p is equal to 12 minus 3, which is 9. Okay, question C. We've got negative 2 times 2t plus 10 equals 4t. You can expand the bracket, but that's a long way to go. We're going to get rid of that negative 2 just by dividing both sides by 2, because basically this negative 2 is multiplying this bracket. So they cancel out, and I'm left with 2t plus 10. Then 4t divided by negative 2 is negative 2t. I'm going to bring both t's onto the left-hand side, so I'm going to add 2t and add 2t here. So I've got 4t, and just in the same go, I'm going to bring that 10 over to be negative 10. So t is equal to negative 10 on 4. And if we leave that as a fraction, that simplifies to negative 5 on 2. And if you want to write that as negative 2.5, you can. Or write it as a mixed fraction, which would be 2.5, negative 2.5. Okay, question D. Now, when you have a fraction, okay, on the left-hand side and a fraction on the right-hand side, and the denominators are the same, they basically just cancel each other out straight away. It's because if we were to get rid of that 2 on the bottom, because it's divided by 2, by multiplying by 2, and we do the same there, it's going to cancel out that side as well. So we're now just left with x minus 7 equals 3x minus 1. Bring all the x's onto the same side, so you can bring that 3x over. If I did that, I'm going to have a negative x on this side, so sometimes it's better just to take the smaller x over to the right-hand side. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So I've got negative 7, 3x minus x is 2x. And then don't forget the negative 1. And then I'm going to take that negative 1 over to the left-hand side by adding 1 to both sides. So that goes negative 7 plus 1 is negative 6 equals 2x. And then just divide both sides by 2 to get rid of that. And negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. Now there's nothing wrong with leaving your answer like that, because technically it's right, but it's probably just nicer if we put the x first. Okay, but both of them are correct. Okay. Question E. We've got h minus 2 equals 10 minus 5h. So I'm going to add 5h to both sides. So that disappears. So h plus 5h gives me 6h. Then we've got minus 2 equals 10. Add 2 to both sides. So that goes. So then we've got 6h equals 12. Then divide both sides by 6, so that goes. And then h is equal to 2. All right, for F. Now remember before we could cancel out the denominators because they were the same. This time we're doing something like we call cross multiply. So that 3 goes up there and that 2 goes up there. So 2 times m plus 3. And then that 3 onto that side. 3 times 3 is 9, m minus 2. Now you can do them separately, but I didn't leave enough space, so we're just going to do it like that. And now I'm going to expand. I can't really cancel out until I'll bring my like terms together until I expand the bracket. So 2 times n is 2m, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then 9 times m is 9m, 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. Now I'm going to bring that 2m to the right-hand side. And at the same time, just because we're short on space, I'm going to bring that 18 over. So that cancels and that cancels, okay? So we've got 6 plus 18 is 24. And then, did I write 9m there? It's 2m. 9m minus 2m is 7m. And then divide both sides by 7, so that goes, so 24 divided by 7. Now I'm just going to make sure I did that right, because I always try to have nice numbers. Obviously I made a mistake somewhere along the line. Sorry, by mistake I meant in the actual question, and hopefully not in my working out. So 24 divided by 7, what have we got? 3. It's testing my ability to divide 3 and 3/7 equals m. You can just leave the answer like that. So 7 goes into 24 3 times, and then we have 3 remaining. My questions are going. I don't know why they're disappearing. Let's see if they just come back if I scroll. Okay, no they don't, and I don't know what it says. Okay, and they changed my y's. My y's have gone weird. Okay, let's just won't worry about that too much. All right, so what have we got here? 3y plus 2 equals 2y minus 5. Now I could divide both sides by 3, but that's probably going to complicate it, so I'm going to expand the bracket. So always think what's going to be the easiest option. So 3y, 3 times 2 is 6, 2y minus 5. You could divide both sides by 3 and still get the same answer, but that's a more complicated way for this question, because you've got a 2 and a 5 which don't go in, a 3 doesn't go in 2, so it's really making it harder for yourself. Okay, let's subtract 2y from both sides, and just like I did before, I'm going to do the constants too, so that cancels, and I'm going to bring that 6 over to the right hand side by subtracting 6 from both sides. So that goes. So 3y minus 2y gives me y, and negative 5 minus 6 is negative 11. Okay, and I'm going to click on this and see if it comes back. Let's just see. No? Okay, let's just go see. I think I'm using too much memory. I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't put there. Whoops. Let's just close and return. No. Oh, and that one's gone too. Okay, I'm going to have to skip H. I'm sorry. I don't know what has happened. I mean, I could leave it. Okay, let's leave it here. Actually, I might just talk to it. So we can cancel these. Oh, and my pen doesn't work on here. So cancel your 3 R's. And let's just move that over. I wonder if I can click on here and still draw. So we've got 12 minus 3R over 3R equals 6 over 3R. So those 3R's cancel. So 12 minus 3R equals 6. Subtract 12 from both sides. So negative 3R equals negative 6. And then divide both sides by negative 3. So R is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 3 is 2. And I'm going to go back here and just write that in. And I don't know how it's going to say, whether they're going to come up or not. But anyway. Okay, is that the last question? No, I might stop the video there then.